If we treat this like a conventional negotiation, we will fail. What does it mean to treat it unconventionally? I think it means we need to understand the different difficulties that countries have, and that includes a country like Poland, the constraints that a country like Poland has, or a country like India or China or the United Kingdom. I think it means we need imagination about how we overcome some of the barriers between people, between different countries. So our Prime Minister put forward a proposal in June for how we could finance a global agreement through a combination of the carbon market, private finance and public finance. A conventional negotiation would have said, wait until the last minute, table your proposals at 3 o'clock in the morning on the last evening and see whether you can get a deal, but that's not going to work, so you need imagination. And then the other thing is, to be completely honest, is that you can't leave this to politicians. And that's an odd thing for a politician to say, but on the other hand, this isn't an odd country to say it in. This is a country that would understand what I mean. Because if you leave this to politicians, we won't get an agreement. Of course, politicians need to show leadership, but it also needs people to say that they care about this. Now, I think, and you might think it's not surprising you think that because that's what you're paid to think, I think this is the most fundamental issue the world faces at the moment. I think if we think about future generations, our children, I think it is the issue most of all where they will either say, you understood the scale of the problem and you acted, or they will say, you had reason to understand the scale of the problem and you didn't act. And for that, future generations will hold you in very poor regard historically, because you had the chance to act. You can't claim that you were ignorant about the problem. You absolutely knew what the scale of the challenge was, but you decided that it was too difficult. And you said, let's concentrate on other issues, even though we know our children are going to pay a fundamental price for this. And so that's why I think we need to act, but that's why I think we also need people themselves. And that's the point I want to end on. Jacek Kuron, who is obviously very familiar to people in this room, said in a letter to some people who are campaigning, if not you, who? And in a sense, I think that applies to this issue, which is that we need popular mobilization on this issue. We need people to say, this really matters to us. This is a fundamental issue facing the future of humankind, facing future generations. Politicians have many shorter-term worries on their mind, but that isn't a reason not to act, because you know the facts. You have many of the technologies which can help you to act, and you don't have any excuse not to. So I'm very grateful to you for coming this afternoon. I look forward to your questions, but I hope together also Britain and Poland and individuals in this room also can be involved in getting a successful outcome at Copenhagen and in the years beyond that, which will make future generations think that we indeed were the first generation to recognize the scale of the problem, not the last generation to ignore it. Thank you very much.